And the importance of using visual elements. Enhance. So we have here five importance na yung paggamit ng visual elements. Unang-una, uh, enhance understanding, improve memory retention, effective decision making, increase engagement, and inclusivity. Ay, ito pala, inulit lang pala natin to, no? Yung importance. So, yan, kung makita natin siya, no? Enhance understanding. So, may mapa tayo dyan. Meron din tayong legend dito. So, when we say, itong blue, yung blue, meron kasing point dito, no? Ibig sabihin, yung palang color sky blue na point is landslide exposed household. Meaning, lahat ng blue points na nakikita nyo dyan ay prone sa landslide. Yan. Yung mga blue na yan. Maintindihan kagad ng user na, yung pala mga blue na to ay exposed sa landslide. Diba? And also, we have here the pink point. They are those exposed man sa flood. Diba? Ito, meron kang mga pink dito. Exposed daw siya sa flood. Yan, yan. Bakit? Ano bang meron dito sa portion na to? Ba't siya exposed sa flood? So, meron siyang violet na color. Ayun. Meron palang hazard doon, flood hazard map. Ibig sabihin, pagka violet, there's a high possibility of flood sa area na yan. So, correct. No? Ito kasing area na to ay flood hazard. That's why these households, itong kulay orange, kulay pink are flood exposed household. Diba? Meron siyang balance and harmony na tinatawag. So makita natin, yung palang upper sa second one is yung improved memory retention, no? Yung upper portion ng Palayan City is flooded during typhoon or for example like typhoon, no? Kasi ano siya, kulay blue or dark blue. Okay? Doon naman sa south portion ng Palayan City is landslide prone kasi mountainous tong area na yan. So pag in-extend mo pagtingin mo dito sa may right side ng Palayan City, no, yung labas na sa kanyang boundary, is talaga mountainous area na. Itong, I think, portion ito ng Laure or Gabaldon. Anyway, when it comes to decision making, ba, makikita natin itong area na to is flood prone, itong nasa may taas, itong violet. And meron din tayong mga household na exposed dyan sa flood. So, during flood or emergency response, alam ka agad ng DRRM ng Palayan City kung sino ang re-rescuehin nila pag may malakas na bagyo. Itong nasa barangay na to. Ilan bang barangay? 1, 2, 3, 4. So, 4 barangays are exposed to landslide. Flood. So, sa kanilang decision making, ang unang re-rescuehin nila is yung nasa malapit sa ilog. Okay? And increase engagement. Increase engagement such a way na, syempre, pagka tinignan nung user yung mapa mo, aaralin nila, okay, nung palang portion na to is flooding area. Ito palang portion na to is mountainous area, kaya pala merong landslide prone dito ng mga bahay. Di ba? May engagement ka agad tayo. And we have here the index map. Index map na tinatawag ay ito. So, kung makikita natin, ganitong style ko kasi napaggawa ng mapa. No? I have the negative space sa may taas and white space sa ilalim. So, magkaiba sila ng itsura. But that's how I design maps. Diba? Nasa ilalim yung mga elements, ibang elements. For example, kailan ko ba ito ginawa? May date pa to. November 2022 pa pala itong mapa na to. So, yeah. I have here the north arrow. Again, nakatutok sa taas. Scale sa ilalim. Meron tayong balance dyan. Yung logo sa taas. Meron tayong image sa baba. Okay. Again, yung title ng mapa is, nakabold ka agad siya. Yung hierarchy na tinatawag, no? Habang kung ano gusto makitang kaagad ng tao, syempre, halakayan yung may font size niya. It is for what? Accessibility, inclusivity. So, mababasa agad ng mga tao tungkol saan ba yung mapa mo na yan. Palayan City households exposed to landslide and flood hazard. So yeah, these are households exposed to floods and exposed to landslide. And meron tayong iba't ibang ano dyan, elements pa. Flood hazard, itong kulay na to. Dark blue, blue, violet. Yan. Ito namang landslide is itong dark brown, red, green, and yellow. And road network map. Hindi na mabasa. No, hindi naman importante dyan kasi yung road network. And waterways. Yung waterways natin natabunan nitong flood hazard. And yeah, sa left side is yung other information. Publication is November 2, 2022 for CPDO and DRRM. Purpose is for CIDRA, Climate Disaster Risk Assessment Plan and Comprehensive Land Use Plan. Data source is Palayan City, Political Boundary, CBMS 2020, NAMRIA, and the projection is 2019-11. And the cartographer, myself. Yeah. So that's the importance of visual elements in map during map creation. Okay. Incorporating imagery into maps. We have 5 tips of incorporating image sa mga mapa natin. Unang-una, dapat yung mga image na ilalagay mo is relevant sa image na sa mapa na ginagawa mo. Okay? Choosing imagery that is relevant to the map's theme or purpose, providing context and enhancing understanding of geographic features. So again, pag tingin mo sa mapa na to, naglagay tayo ng image dyan ng Palayan, logo ng Palayan. Ibig sabihin, itong area na to is Palayan City. And also, we have here the index map of Palayan City. And again, meron din tayong Palayan City na label dyan. So, yeah. Next one is overlay imagery. Overlay imagery onto the map to depict real-world landscapes, landmarks, infrastructure, enriching the visual narrative and providing additional spatial context. So, dito nag-overlay tayo ng elevation model, itong portion na to, kung saan makikita natin na tawag dito. So, may right side ng Palayan City is mountainous area. It adds tawag dito, a visual narrative. Diba? Kung mapapansin ninyo, itong right side ng mapa ng Palayan City is mountainous area. May mga shades and may mga patterns yan. Sabihin lang nun, alam ka agad natin na itong portion pala na to ng Palayan City, sa tabi niya is mountainous area na. Okay? Use transparency. Adjust the transparency of overlaid imagery to blend it seamlessly with other map layers while ensuring that essential map features remain visible. Yeah, kasi just like Photoshop, may mga layer-layer yan. Kung itong image mo na to, itong mga mountainous area mo na to is nasa upper, nasa topmost layer sa layers panel mo, baka natabunan na tong main map mo. Di ba? Itong kulay yellow, red, brown. Yan. So, make sure na consider mo rin yung pagle-layer niya. At the same time, yung visual transparency niya. Baka pagka naka-high opacity ka, hindi na makita tong mapa mo ng Palayan City or yung ibang elements ng mapa mo. Okay? Scale appropriately. Scale imagery appropriately to match the map scale and resolution, maintaining accuracy and clarity in representation. So, alam naman natin, yung pag-scale is katulad sa AutoCAD, no? Alam ko naman. Or, yeah. Pagtingin mo kasi dito sa mapa natin, meron siyang scale na tinatawag. Itong 1:100,000 or 1, 2, 3, yan. Zoom natin. Sabihin, yung ganitong scale is, tawag dito, kilometers. Hindi kasi gumawa ng mapa is in 1 kilometer. So, ibig sabihin, itong mapa itong distance na ganito from 0 to 1, pag in-scale mo dito, automatic tong portion na to, I don't know kung nakita ninyo eh. So, basta pag kumuha ka ng ruler, tinapat mo dito 0 sa 1 at tinapat mo dito yan sa mapa, automatic nag-scale yan ng 1 kilometer. Okay? So, kung makikita mo itong 0 to 3 na to, at itinapat mo dito sa may mga tiles na to, ibig sabihin 3 kilometers yan. Pero parang hindi yata pantay. For example, 4. Up to 4 yan. Sabihin, itong area na to is 4 kilometers. No? I don't know kung napapansin ninyo kasi yung laser. Anyway, consider aerial or versus satellite imagery. So dito, gumagamit tayo ng satellite imagery kasi ang scope niya is yung buong Palayan City. But we can also use naman yung aerial view pagka kung medyo mas zoom in yung inyong mapa. For example, you are using drone, kaya niya lang i-captivate is one barangay, di ba? Or smaller portion ng barangay. Yun, pwede mong gamitin yun. Yung aerial shots using drones. Okay? So, those are the importance or tips in incorporating imagery sa inyong mapa. Unang-una, dapat gagamit ka ng related map sa inyong mga mapa. Okay? Second one is that yung pag-overlay nyo ng image is dapat, may purpose in such a way na meron kang elevation model para alam natin kung sa tabi niya ba is merong mga bundok, di ba? And at the same time, meron siyang flat area, di ba? Use transparency, no? Para mag-blend ng maayos yung mapa mo, ensuring that essential map features remain visible, scale appropriately para kahit saan dalhin yung mapa mo, maintindihan ng ibang mga cartographers yung ginagamit mo or yung mapa na ginawa mo. The fifth one is consider aerial and satellite imagery. Again, when we say satellite imagery, it focuses more on the entire map of education. Wala ka naman kasing satellite, wala ka naman kasing aerial shot na makita mo buong Philippines, no? That is considered as satellite imagery. Kaya ba lumipad ng drone mo hanggang outer space, di ba? Ganun lang naman yan. So, kung kailangan mo ng satellite imagery, use Google. Or if you want to project the entire Palayan, for example, your Gapan City, gamit ka ng satellite imagery. If you're trying to project a smaller area in your city, why not use drones? Okay. The next one is the importance of selecting relevant and high-quality imagery. We have here 2, 4, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. 8 importance of selecting high-quality image. Unang-una, enhance contextual understanding. Siyempre, kapag gumamit ka ng mapa na maganda yung quality, maintindihan ka agad ng tao yung gusto mong ipakita sa kanila. So, meron tayong image dito ng Palayan City. At the same time, nag-overlay tayo ng elevation model na kung saan makikita yung mountainous area na tabi ng Palayan City. Improve visual representation. Again, pinakita ko na sa inyo yung representation ng mga bundok, di ba? The third one is accurate interpretation. Selecting high-quality image ensures that accurate representation of real-world features, reducing the risk of misinterpretation or misunderstanding by the users. So, pag tinignan mong ganyan, hindi kagad misinterpret ng tao na itong right side ng Palayan City is flat. Hindi kasi makita mo kaagad mountainous siya or mabundok, diba? Hindi ka magkakamali unless doon sa may bandang northeast ng Palayan City yung Bongabon and Laur, medyo flat siya, pero pagka dire-diretso mo yan, magkakaroon pa rin ng bundok, diba? And next one is effective communication. Relevant and high-quality imagery strengthens the map's narrative and storytelling capabilities, effectively conveying the geographic information and insights. The fifth one is increased user engagement. Compelling imagery captures users' attention and encourages exploration, leading to greater user engagement and interaction with the map. 6 would be the credibility and trust. High-quality imagery enhances the map's credibility and authority, instilling trust in the accuracy and reliability of the information presented. So, kapag gumawa ka ng mapa kasi dapat reliable siya and credible. Hindi yung gagawa ka lang ng mapa for your own likings, no? Make sure na talagang credible yung mapa mo. For example, gumawa ka ng flood map and landslide map. Dapat tama din naman yung pinlat mo or yung pinroject mo sa mapa. Baka naman for example, sa mapa ng Palayan City, nagkamali ka ng legend na paglalagay dito, no? For example, itong flood area mo is sa fonts mo, nilagay mo landslide hazard. Hindi naman mountainous area sa may part na ito, sa may bandang northwest. So, hindi credible yung mapa na ginawa mo. Okay? Visual consistency. When we say visual consistency naman, consistent use of relevant and high-quality imagery throughout the map maintains visual coherence and consistency, reinforcing the map's overall message and purpose. Yeah, katulad ng sinabi ko sa inyo, visual consistency, kung doon sa mapa mo is purple yung flood hazard, make sure sa yung legend is purple din yung text ng flood map, flood hazard mo. Kasi kapag ka nagkaiba yan, may confusion ka agad yung users. Sabi dito sa image, flood hazard daw ito. Pero pagtingin ko sa legend, landslide naman ito. So, hindi ka agad consistent. Malilito lang yung user. Okay? The last one is support for decision making. Relevant imagery provides decision makers with valuable visual context. So, yeah, when it comes to disaster risk management, again, alam nila during flood kung sino kanilang unang re-rescuehin. Ganun lang yan. So, those are the importance of selecting relevant and high-quality imagery. Enhance contextual understanding, improve visual representation, accurate interpretation, effective communication, increased user engagement, credibility and trust, visual consistency, and support for decision making. Next is the thematic mapping. Ano ba ang thematic mapping? Okay? So, when we say thematic mapping, it is a cartographic technique used to visualize spatial patterns, spatial relationships related to specific themes or topics. It involves representing geographic data on maps in a way that highlights a particular attribute or characteristics such as population density, land use, or economic indicators. Anyway, hindi ko pala na-attach dito yung aking image. Anyway, so that's thematic mapping, no? Ano ba ang purpose ng thematic mapping? Unang-una, identify patterns. Thematic mapping helps identify spatial patterns and trends related to the chosen theme, revealing distributional variations and concentrations. So dito, like na example natin kanina sa may COVID, no? Ma-identify mo yung pattern na saan ba yung alam natin, mape-predict natin na merong mataas na paglobo ng COVID. 'Di ba? Kasi pinlat natin doon yung location, 'di ba? Ng COVID victims or patients. Maintindihan kagad natin yung spatial patterns and trends na tinatawag. Okay? Next one is highlight relationships. It enables the visualization of relationships between different cartographic features or variables, allowing for comparative analysis and interpretation. Third one is, again, for decision making. Fourth one is communicate information. Thematic maps serve as effective communication tools, conveying complex spatial data in a visually accessible format that is easy to understand. Last one is facilitate exploration. Thematic maps encourage exploration and discovery of spatial phenomena, fostering a deeper understanding of geographic patterns and processes. So those are the 5 purposes or purpose of thematic mapping. When we say spatial, baka mali yung spelling yun ng spatial. No? Spatial means S-P-A-T-I-A-L, spatial. Spatial data or spatial information. Ano ba importance ng thematic mapping? Number 1 is insight generation. When we say insight generation, it helps uncover hidden insights and patterns within spatial data, facilitating a better understanding of geographic phenomena. Again, number 2 is decision support. Alam na natin yan. Puro na lang decision support ang mapa. Problem identification. It highlights spatial disparities and areas of concern. So, again, sa COVID example natin, alam natin kaagad kung ano ba ang problem doon and how we could provide solutions and how we could mitigate those kinds of problems. Communication tool. So, pagtingin mo pa lang sa mapa, yung hazard map, nakakapag-communicate siya kaagad, hindi ba? Planning and management, again, pinakamagandang example dyan, yung nasa flood map and yung may COVID map. Nakapagplano ka kung saan, ano ba ang first step mo during flood, ano bang step na gagawin mo sa COVID patients na meron ka, di ba? Next one is policy evaluation. When we say policy evaluation naman, kapag meron kang mapa na ganito, makapag-propose ka ng mga policies and guidelines and interventions by visualizing spatial impacts and changes over time. For example, alam mo na palang flood hazard sa mapa na to, hindi ka pa gagawa ng policy na kung saan bawal magtayo ng bahay dito. Why? Kasi alam naman natin sa mapa na flood hazard siya. Bakit iaalaw mo pa yung mga constituents mo na magtayo ng bahay doon, di ba? And alam mo na palang landslide prone sa area na to, bakit inaalaw mo pa na magtayo ng bahay yung mga kasamahan mo sa Palayan City? Make sure to have those maps kasi it helps you craft or create, develop a zoning map or zoning ordinance kung saan na sasabihin doon, bawal po magtayo sa mga areas na to kasi landslide prone po ito and flood prone po ito. So that's policy evaluation. 7 is community engagement. Thematic mapping can engage communities in spatial planning process by visualizing local issues and encouraging participation in decision making. For example, sa LPTRP or sa land LPTRP. Transportation yun eh. Yung LPTRP na yan. Anyway, so doon pa lang, nagkakaroon ka ng engagement sa community mo in such a way na if you're trying to develop a new policy sa paggamit ng kalsada, syempre tatawagin mo yung for example, yung mga CSOs mo, yung PAHODA, or yung any drivers association dyan, and yung TODA. And then, gagawa kayo ng policy kung saan, ito pong gagawin natin kalsada na to is bawal dumaan si ganito, dapat si ganitong service na ang dadaan dito during ganitong oras. Diba? So, doon pa lang, may engagement ka na sa community mo. At the same time, gumagawa ka na ng policy mo para mas mapaganda yung performance ng inyong city. When it comes to, yan, example natin is yung land LPTRP. Basta route plan yun. LPTRP na yun. Anyway, education and research. Thematic maps are valuable educational and research tools facilitating exploration and analysis for spatial phenomena in academic and professional context. Yan. So, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, bago COVID, umatan kami ng seminar sa UP kung saan pinaka topic namin lagi yung EDSA. Diba? Meron kasing education and research dyan. So, kung paano ba mababawasan yung traffic dyan, yung volume ng traffic dyan, and ano ba, kailangan ba magkaroon tayo ng mga policies about dyan? Diba? Bawal. So, dadagdag ba tayo ng number coding, color coding? Dadagdag ba tayo dyan ng bus lane? Dadagdag ba tayo dyan ng lalawakan ba natin yung bus lane dyan? So mapa kasi is nakagamit natin sa research nga din naman, education and research. So, yeah. Naging classmate namin noon sa UP si Bong Nebriha, yung matapang sa EDSA, di ba? Kaso, dapat pala, in-touch ko dito yung picture ni Sir Nebriha, ni Colonel. Anyway, so, ang solution nga lang dyan talaga sa EDSA, based on our study, is yung improvement ng public transport in such a way na kung ang capacity ng bus mo is 10, so ba't hindi mo gawing 50? So nagsasakay ka ng mas maraming tao, at the same time, give importance sa public transportation. So yeah, ginawa nila Colonel Bong is nag-alat sila ng bus lane. Though may paminsan-minsan may mga pasaway na gumagamit ng bus lane. But yung intention kasi is nandun naman. No? This bus lane is intended for buses only. Na ang sakay is yung mga commuters na wala talaga mga private vehicles. No? So, ang ginawa nila, both sides ng EDSA may bus lane. So, yung mga buses na yon may oras. Yung mga buses na yon I think medyo mas humaba siya. No? So, mas lalong nadagdagan yung capacity niya. And since sa Manila kasi, time is precious. So, kung mabilis yung transportation mo, yung public transportation mo sa compare sa private vehicle mo, nagmamadali ka sa oras, talagang mas maraming gagamit nung public transportation. Kung nakikita ng mga tao na mabagal yung private vehicles nila, hindi na sila magpa-private vehicle, pupunta na lang sila sa public transportation. Kasi unang-una, mas mabilis, pangalawa, comfortable ka kasi kung yung public transportation mo is aircon, 'di ba? Modern. Hindi mo na kailangan magdala ng cash, 'di ba? Cashless na siya, may beep card ka na. So yung mga ganong research ba is ini-implement din using map. Kung mapapansin niyo kasi sa Japan, 'di ba? Napakaganda ng transportation nila doon, yung tawag dito, yung train nila. So doon, pag mabilis yung transportation mo, mas i-consider ng tao yung public transportation instead sa mga private vehicles natin. So, sabi nila, yung namang public transportation is i-phase out daw yung mga lumang tawag dito, jeepneys, no? Hindi naman kasi i-implement ng national agencies yun nang hindi nila pinag-aralan. Diba? But for me, since we are here in the modern world, why not utilize modern jeeps? Unang-una, comfortable ka, naka-aircon ka. Pangalawa, yung inyong payment is online na. 'Di ba? Lahat naman is gumagamit ng GCash. 'Di ba? Tsaka yung transportation mo, if they are using electric vehicles, may chance na tawag dito, they emit lesser carbon dioxides that damages the environment. Okay? So yun, napag-usapan lang naman natin EDSA for education research. So aside from modern jeeps, nagdagdag din sila ng mga highways na it helps the transportation of our commuters safe and faster. So that's thematic mapping, okay?